Guys, we have some breaking news. It appears that Trump has arrived at a ceasefire with Iran. Of course, I'm starting it off from what would be the least likely source to favor Trump in any way. That would be CNN World. And we have here, Trump agrees to 2-week ceasefire with Iran. The president said the agreement was made on the condition that Iran agree to reopen the critical Strait of Hormuz. So that also has to be seen, or we have to see that that's actually going to happen. I'm going to go ahead and play some of this from CNN, but I'm going to skip through some of it because mostly she just reads from what Donald Trump said on his Truth Social, which I will also show you. So here we go.
This is CNN breaking news.
And President Trump has just posted that he has agreed to that 2-week ceasefire in the war in Iran. Let's bring in CNN's Kristen Holmes at the White House. Kristen, what's the news?
Yeah, just an hour and a half away from that deadline, President Trump seconds ago taking to Truth Social to say that he is talking to Pakistani officials, and based on that conversation, he will agree to stop bombing for 2 weeks. He also says that Iran has agreed to open the Strait of Hormuz for that time period. So I'm going to read part of this to you. It says...
All right, so she's going to read through that whole thing here, and of course I'm going to show it to you, but we're going to go ahead and get back to what she has to report.
And I will go back through that language because I said that Iran had agreed to open the Strait of Hormuz. It does sound as though he's still leaving it there as that he's only agreeing, if that is in fact the case, that they will fully open the Strait of Hormuz. This, of course, again, coming as President Trump has been threatening to wipe out an entire civilization, saying that he was going to bomb bridges, to bomb civilian infrastructure, saying at one point that the Iranian people wanted him to continue bombing. And we knew behind the scenes that there were ongoing conversations, negotiations between the two parties, between Pakistan was serving as an intermediary between the two countries at various times. Now, there is going to be a big question here as to what happens with J.D. Vance, the vice president, who's currently in Hungary. There had been a lot of talk 2 weeks ago about him going to Pakistan to sit for these conversations that would be the first face-to-face conversations between U.S. officials and Iranian officials. Now, of course, is going to be a question as to whether or not he is going to actually go there after his trip to Hungary. We are asking about that as well. Are they actually going?
All right, so the important things to take from here is that will the Iranians stop bombing ships through the Strait of Hormuz? Because this is a very critical thing. And also, I know many of you here on the BuzWeaver channel who are astute, who are aware, know that when Donald Trump was saying a lot of these things, it was causing all these people to clutch their pearls, the British, the Europeans, the Asians, whomever. He was saying, and what he was saying was directed at the regime. People have to understand here, as he said during that press conference yesterday, he's not going to reveal his plan. It was ridiculous to think that the Germans wanted the entire strategy, wanted the entire bullet point, PowerPoint, point-by-point outline of what Trump was going to do. You can't do that. As you also saw during that press conference yesterday, that there was leaks also on the pilot. Now, granted, of course, the media always wants to be as accurate as it can when it wants to be accurate, knowing that that particular aircraft, the F-15E, has a pilot and a weapons officer, so they know that there was two there. And so there's going to be debate over whether or not the media was simply reporting the news as the aircraft does have 2 seats in it, or whether or not the media or the government didn't want people to know all the configurations of the aircrafts that are being used and so forth and so on. So there's a lot of debate about that. But now, of course, as we see across social media, lots of people talking about the ceasefire. But of course, as I look at many of the detractors here, their suggestion is that, Trump did this so that he wouldn't have to follow through with the threat of doing what he was doing. But these are the same people who don't realize that Trump is talking to the regime. These are the same people that denied that he was even talking to people like in Pakistan or other nations to bring this to come to some resolution here. So the whole time, because Trump was not laying out a plan, was not giving people all this information, of course the media and the left and detractors are going to speculate on all this sort of stuff. But nonetheless, as you can see here, here's his official post from Truth Social. And of course, everybody, as I said, were clutching their pearls and upset about things he said during Easter and so forth. But you have to understand, the Islamic regime does not understand or have any concern over the posh catering that goes on during conferences and policies and lawmaking and what Brussels does with the EU. They aren't interested in that. They're interested in who can defeat them. They're interested in strength. And Trump has to project this strength. I know it seems absurd. It seems outrageous to people in the Western world or in the world, some of the things that Trump said. But you have to remember, he's speaking to the regime. He knows they're listening. He knows they're out there watching. This is another reason why he can't just come out and just start outlining everything that he's going to do. It's absurd and ridiculous to think that the media would exercise such an extraordinary level of obtuseness, as it were, thinking that Trump was just going to lay everything out for everybody. It's just the most absurd thing I've ever seen, this whole situation. But Trump is continuing to win. I have never seen more pushback on X than I have in the last 2 weeks, with Trump continuing to succeeding with SCOTUS, with the Supreme Court. It's just, this is the worst time for them. And it was ridiculous to see how many what appeared to be people even rooting for Iran, because they hate Trump so much that even the loss of a pilot or a plane or others is some sort of satisfaction to them. It's absolutely ridiculous. But nonetheless, guys, I did want to break this news to you. As you can see here from CNN, I don't know why her eyes are constantly closed, but let's see if I can get a better image over there. But nonetheless, guys, let me know down in the comments, what are your thoughts about what all Trump was doing? Are you aware, of course, of other cultures and the way other people think outside of the Western lens, right? So let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are on this. Isn't this a great thing, the direction that we're going in? I know I did a poll, and some people were kind of on the fence about the whole entire thing. But this is one of those things, as Pete Heads has said, that is difficult but has to be done. It is 47 years the Iranians have been keeping up and being a menace to the world with their proxies and other things that were going on. This is just one of those ugly things that just had to be done. But let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments section. I want to thank all you guys across New Tech, that's BitChute, Rumble, and Odyssey, for your guys' continued support. And, of course, everyone here on YouTube for your guys' continued support. Below this video, you can find the various social media links that I belong to include X. If you order frequently from Amazon or are a Prime member, of course, you can use my landing page link. It is safe while you are online to use that. Your privacy is protected. I never see any of it. I just get a little commission. And then, of course, if you are interested in privacy online, my VPN TrustZone is down there, my affiliate for them. They're amazing. They're to the point. No fluff. No nothing. You get straight to what you want to do. None of the fluffiness you get from others. But nonetheless, guys, thank you so much. Appearing there on the screen, that's going to be the channel icon. You guys can click on that to subscribe, as well as to select notifications. That way you'll know when there's content here on the channel. And I'll see all you guys in the next video.